Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Lights, your weekly recap of the National Football League. It's October 16th, and I'm your host, Chris Sitek. Week 6 was full of action-packed games, starting with an AFC North battle between Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers and Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Leading 20-14 in the fourth quarter, Bengals running back Joe Mixon walked his way into the end zone for what was thought to be the go-ahead touchdown with 1:18 remaining. But Big Ben and the Steelers had different plans. With less than a minute to go, corner Dre Kirkpatrick got called for a costly holding call on Steelers receiver Antonio Brown. This holding call put Pitt on the Bengals 30 with 10 seconds to go. And with that, Big Ben found Brown once more on a slant for 6. And don't call it a comeback, as the Steelers went in and just stole a victory from the Bengals, 28-21 in the battle by the Ohio River. Moving over to another Ohio team, Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns hosted Phillip Rivers and the LA Chargers, and it wasn't pretty, as Rivers found receiver Tyrell Williams for 2 touchdowns, including one Moss-like catch over 3 defenders for Pater. Mayfield, meanwhile, struggled in his second career start, throwing 2 picks and being sacked another 5 times as the Browns fell to the Chargers 38-14. Down south, 2 Florida teams had their hands full as the Dolphins hosted the Bears at home and the Bucs visited their NFC division rival Falcons in the ATL. The Bears and quarterback Mitch Trubisky had a commanding 21-7 lead heading into the fourth quarter, and then Brocktober happened. Backup quarterback Brock Osweiler led Miami to 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter and overtime to lead the Dolphins past the Bears 31-28 in overtime. Bucs quarterback Jameis Winston made his first career start of 2018 facing Matt Ryan and the injury-riddled Falcons in Atlanta Sunday, and it was an NFC South shootout. Teams combined for 63 points, and Atlanta edged the Bucs 34-29. Another shootout ensued in the Meadowlands as rookie quarterback Sam Darnold and the New York Jets outdueled Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts 42-34. Now up in the nation's capital, Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins pulled off somewhat of what was an upset, ousting Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers 23-17. Ageless wonder Adrian Peterson rumbled his way for 97 yards in the dub. Across the pond, Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders were searching for their second win against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, but only found sacks, and more sacks. 6 to be exact, as Seattle nearly shut out Oakland 27-3. J.J. Watt and the Texans hosted rookie quarterback Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills in what was a sloppy affair. Teams combined for 5 fumbles, 4 interceptions, and 9 sacks, as Bills' Nathan Peterman's pick 6 proved to be the decider in a 20-13 Texans win. Now, speaking of defense, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings hosted rookie quarterback Josh Rosen and the Cardinals at home, and the skull chant could be heard from miles away as Minnesota sacked Rosen 4 times and forced a fumble in a 27-17 victory. Speaking of thumping, Blake Bortles and the Jaguars took one when they visited Zeke Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World. Both Zeke and quarterback Dak Prescott ran all over Jacksonville for 200-plus yards en route to a 40-7 win. From offense to defense, Joe Flacco and the Ravens were seeking redemption after not scoring a single touchdown last week when they visited Marcus Mariota and the Titans in Nashville Sunday. Baltimore bounced back in a big way, sacking Mariota 11 times en route to a 21-0 shutout. Running back Todd Gurley and the undefeated Rams took their talents to a snowy Mile High facing Von Miller and the Broncos in Denver. Gurley had himself a day, rushing for 200 yards on 28 carries as the Rams remain undefeated outlasting Denver 23-20. Thursday night's game was a battle of bitter rivals as rookie phenom Saquon Barkley and the New York Football Giants hosted Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was fly, Eagles, fly, as Philly had their way with New York toppling them 34-14 in the Meadowlands. Sunday Night Football was in Foxborough as Patrick's Showtime Mahomes and the 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs took on future GOAT Tom Brady and the New England Patriots in a battle for AFC supremacy, and the game lived up to the hype. New England raced off to a big 24-9 start, but then Showtime arrived. Mahomes found the cheetah receiver Tyreek Hill for 3 second-half touchdowns to knot the game up at 40 with 3 minutes to go. But 3 minutes to go is all touchdown Tommy needed as the Patriots edged the Chiefs 43-40 as time expired. Monday Night Football was in historic Lambeau Field with Aaron Rodgers in the Pack hosting Richard Sherman and the rebuilding 49ers. And with the Packers trailing 30-23 late into the fourth quarter, Aaron Rodgers led the Packers to 10 unanswered points as the Pack held off San Francisco 33-30. Quick shout out to kicker Mason Crosby, who, coming off his worst game of the season, made all 4 of his field goals, including the game-winning chip shot to put Green Bay ahead. And that was our Week 6 NFL recap. And here are Week 7's matchup starting Thursday. Thursday night, Von Miller and the Broncos visit the sinking Cardinals in Arizona. The Week 7 Sunday slate starts in London as Marcus Mariota and the Titans look to bounce back against Phillip Rivers and the Chargers at Wembley Stadium. Moving over to the noon games, Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears host Tom Brady and the surging Patriots at Soldier Field. The sinking Buffalo Bills head to Indianapolis to take on Andrew Luck and the Colts. The Miami Dolphins look to continue their winning ways as they host Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions at home. Rookie quarterback Sam Darnold and the New York Jets host Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings in the Meadowlands. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers continue their road trip as they will take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. Quarterback Jameis Winston will start his second game of 2018 and as his Bucks will take on rookie quarterback Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns in Tampa. Meanwhile, Jalen Ramsey and the Jacksonville Jaguars will look to get back into the W column as they host J.J. Watt and their AFC South rival, Houston Texans. The mid-afternoon games start off with Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens hosting quarterback Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints at home. NFC West rivals square off as Richard Sherman and the 49ers host Todd Gurley and the LA Rams in a battle at San Fran. NFC North rivals square off as well as Zeke Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys visit Alex Smith and the Redskins in Washington. Sunday Night Football is in Kansas City as Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs look to bounce back against Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals at Arrowhead Stadium. Monday Night Football is in the ATL where Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons look to keep winning against Saquon Barkley and the New York Football Giants at home. And that is your Week 6 NFL recap. I want to thank you so much for listening, and be sure to tune into next week's episode of Beyond the Lights. I'm Chris Sitek, and goodbye.